Humans, Offspring of Aliens and the Subhuman Race, written by Douglas Corey, read by Robert Polk.
Introduction. Would it be so shocking to consider the possibility that we are the offspring of aliens? Wouldn't that answer many of the questions that we have about our who, what, and why? The title of this book, Humans, Offspring of Aliens and the Subhuman Race, may shock you, but a shock may just be what you need. When someone's heart stops, medics often shock the individual in an effort to get the heart beating again. If the shock achieves the desired result, the individual is appreciative. I know I appreciated the shock that woke me up to the truth of our existence. The information in this book renewed life for me, and yet it's so simple that even a child could understand it completely. Speaking of children, today there is much communication going on without a word even being spoken. Text messaging is a perfect example. I know that there's a generation gap to contend with today, as there always has been. I honestly have to shake my head and consider, there is a good possibility that aliens may already live amongst us. It's possible these aliens infiltrated our world by being born as our children primarily because these unique offspring of ours communicate with one another with such grace and precision right before our eyes and ears. And yet we, who consider ourselves intelligent, don't have a clue as to what thoughts are being exchanged. I find it very interesting that the words they text or speak to one another may mean nothing to us, but are perfectly clear to them. If by some chance they are aliens who don't want us to know what they're talking about, they have accomplished their mission quite effectively. Yet, we can agree that words in any language are a means of communicating a thought or message to others. That is their purpose. No words in themselves are better than any other words, but the message or thought that they are trying to convey can be priceless or worthless. Sometimes the same words can and do convey completely different messages. I sincerely hope that you will not think the words and language that I am using to convey this unique message, humans, offspring of aliens and the subhuman race, are in any way written to confuse or mislead you. It's just the opposite. I want the listeners to understand exactly what I am saying and the meaning I attribute to those words. Due to the subject matter of this book, this will be a great task because each individual may comprehend different meanings, though they all see the same words. Some may find this book's message and information helpful in understanding life itself. Some others may find it utter foolishness. That depends on how deeply indoctrinated they have become in what they think of their who, what, and why. I know the word alien has different implications in today's society. Truly, this book may forever change the way you think of creatures or beings from another realm or world. We must not speculate about unknown visitors, but instead focus on what is known. Deception lives within the unknown. I will never forget an episode of Rod Serling's Twilight Zone that I watched as a kid in the 1960s. The story concerned some seemingly benevolent aliens who visit Earth with their intentions clearly stated in the title of a large book they presented to their earthly host. Like the episode itself, the book was titled, To Serve Man. The people were amazed at how friendly, kind, cordial, and loving these aliens were. They appeared before the heads of governments, the military, the United Nations, and the citizens watching on television. They promised they could help our planet, make our lives better, and even make us healthier. We Earthlings began to experience all the things they promised. Those who were convinced that the aliens were here to serve mankind trusted them and became great friends. The aliens were so helpful that they received permission to bring more spaceships here. They convinced us that we could bring peace to the planet by destroying all weapons. Before long, our visitors asked if any Earthlings would be interested in visiting their planet. Hundreds lined up to go. Meanwhile, a team of scientists were trying to interpret the book that the aliens brought with them. Its title was in English, but the remaining text was in an unfamiliar language. After weeks of shuttles from Earth to the alien planet, it became apparent that no one was returning. The aliens said nobody wanted to return to Earth because they liked their home better than ours. This revelation only inspired more Earthlings to want to make the journey. One of the scientists who had been working on deciphering the book considered visiting the alien planet to get more information. One day, his curiosity got the best of him, and he packed a bag and was ready to take the next shuttle. He said his goodbyes and left the office and got in line to board the spacecraft. The team he was leaving behind was still working on deciphering the book. That same day, one of his team members had a breakthrough with the language. She immediately ran across town to the launching site to share the findings with her colleague. She saw him climbing the steps, preparing to board the spacecraft, and called out to him. She had to yell to get his attention. "The book," she screamed, "the book is a cookbook. It's a cookbook." The camera then caught the scientist's reaction. His expression was similar to the one you might be making right now. It was a look of great surprise. Quickly, an alien pushed the now reluctant and terrified scientist aboard, and off they went. I never forgot the double meaning that those words, "to serve man," conveyed. Here were the same words, but with two completely different meanings. The title of this book may seem to have a double meaning, but don't let it fool you. It means exactly what it says. I promise not to use any deceptive words to lead you away from the truth or to hide it. Bringing out the truth is my goal. Unlike the example of the young people I described earlier, every reader will know exactly what I mean. There are some individuals who use deceptive words knowing that two completely different meanings can work to their advantage. Politicians are experts at this, just like the aliens with their cookbook. So please don't judge my book too quickly. It might just surprise you. Be patient with me as we decipher words that we have all used in trying to communicate our beliefs about the known or unknown, aliens, ETs, UFOs. This subject has always been controversial, and I find it quite amusing with all the talk of aliens that there's little, if any, proof of their existence. Where the heck are they? Could all this be a diversion or a big hoax to keep us distracted from all the foolish nonsense being played out here on Earth? This book may not be received by the masses of our species primarily because they believe they are human. If you're ready for a life-changing shock with the best-kept secret of the ages, I will prove that we have no way of understanding the who, what, and why of our existence apart from the visit of a truly other-than-us alien. The shocking news is that this visitor from out of this world was human, and he actually exposed us to the truth that we are not human at all, but actually subhuman. Throughout this book, I will try my best to explain this unique one who, by his visit, reveals a clear distinction between the two, human versus subhuman. Please overlook my imperfect subhuman writing skills while I try my best to explain this unique one that is other than us. And I'll bet this is the first book you'll ever listen to by someone who claims to be subhuman.